Hello guys, today's problem is divide array into arrays with maximum difference. So you are given an integer array num of size n and positive integer k. Divide the array into one or more array of size 3 satisfying the following condition. Each element of nums should be in exactly one array. Difference between any two elements in one array is less than or equal to k. Return a 2D array containing all the array if it is impossible to satisfy the condition. Return an empty array, and if there are multiple answer, return any of them. So we will be given an num array which is of size n and positive integer k will be given. So we need to divide an array into multiple array. Each array should contain of three elements, and the condition it should follow is like each element of nums should be exactly one array. So in each array, each element should be exactly present only once in the array. The difference between any two element in one array is less than or equal to k. The subarray we will be creating, the difference between the two elements should always be less than or equal to k. So we have to return a 2D array containing all the arrays. If it is impossible to satisfy the condition, return an empty array. If it is impossible means we have to return an empty array. Impossible in sense if we can't able to create a subarray of size 3 satisfying these two conditions, we need to return an empty array, or else we need to return the multiple answers. So let's see an example. So this is our nums and this is the value of k. So we can divide this array in terms of the into three subarrays. So each array contains three elements and the difference between any two elements should be less than or equal to 2. For example, if we take this subarray, 1 and 3 is difference is 2, 3, 5 is 2, 7, 9 is also 2. So this satisfies the given two conditions. To the logic, we need to satisfy the two condition. So each element should be present only once. Uh, only once, and difference between any element in the subarray should be less than or equal to k. In any subarray should be less than or equal to k. If these two conditions are satisfied, we need to return an subarray of size 3 which will be created from an original array. If these condition is not satisfied, we need to return an empty array. So the logic is very simple. First we need to sort the original array and break them into subarray of size 3. Subarray of size 3. Then check, let us say this is a1, a2, a3, a4, a5, a6. So if we break them, if we sort, let us consider this is the sorted array. If we break them into a subarray of size 3, it will be a1, a2, a3, a4, a5, a6. So we followed the condition 1. Each element is present exactly once, and we need to follow the condition 2. So difference between any element should be less than k. If we take these two elements, should be less than or equal to k. If it is satisfied, we will be adding into a final subarray. If it does not satisfy, what we will do is like we will simply return an empty array. Like I already mentioned, the condition, these two conditions needs to be satisfied to return the subarray of size 3. If it is not satisfied, we need to return an empty array. Here, if the difference between the first and last element in a subarray of size 3 is less than or equal to k, we will add this subarray into the final return array. If it is not satisfying, we will return an empty array. So let's see an example. Let's say example is 1, 3, 4, 8, 7, 11, 3, 5, 1. So follow the first step is sorting it. After sorting it, we will be getting 1, 3, 1, 1, 3, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 11. So then we need to separate them into subarray of size 3. So 1, 1, 3, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8 and 11. Then we need to find the difference between these two extremums in the each subarray. So 1 minus 3 should be less than or equal to k. So the given value k is equal to 2. Here less than or equal to 2 is satisfies. Here is also difference is 5 minus 3 which is 2. Here also difference is 4 which does not satisfy. So we will be returning an empty array as a final return. We will be returning an empty array. So this is an example 1. So let's see another example. Another example is 1, 3, 4, 8, 7, 9, 3, 5, and 1. So let's sort this array. 1, 1, 3, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, and 9. So here also k will be 2. This is also k will be 2. So what we will be doing is like we will be finding the difference between the start and end of each subarray of size 3. So 3 minus 1 should be less than or equal to k. It satisfies because 2. 3 minus 5 minus 3 is also 2, satisfies. 7 minus 9 is also true, it satisfies. So we will be returning this final array. This will be our answer. If we can't separate this, we need to return an empty array. So let's see how we can code this. So let's see how we can code this. So we will be sorting an array, like I already mentioned, we will be sorting an array. We need an 2D array to finally return if we can able to separate the given array in terms of subarray of size 3, and the array should be for each subarray should follow this condition. And this for loop is for traversing the array in terms of three numbers. Let's say we have an array of size 6. We need to, so the starting I will be here. So for the next iteration I will be moved 3 positions further and I will be here. This is for traversing each subarray, and we are checking whether the difference between this I plus 2 and I is less than, or if it is greater than 0, we are simply returning an empty array. Like already it is mentioned, if it is not possible to satisfy the condition, we will return an empty array. So, and if it is satisfies, what we are doing is like we are adding the subarray of size 3. We are adding this subarray if the difference condition is satisfied. We are adding the subarray into the original array we created for returning original 2D array that we created. After this loop is done, we will be returning the answer. This answer is 2D array which contains subarray of size 3. So let's run the code. Thank you.